Hello Year 7s. Today we're going to look at the program called SketchUp. It is a 3D modeling tool. It's AutoCAD and it's pretty fun to play with. So I'm going to take you through the basics first of all. This is lesson 1. We're going to look at the very simple tools and how to use them, and later on we will start learning some better skills. So this is what SketchUp looks like. We've just logged into the free account. What I can do is my first option is I want to create a new one. I can go to start modeling here. But if we click on create new, one of the things you can see that we can do is choose a template in meters or millimeters. Now we'll be making something in metric, so let's choose millimeters. So I click on there. I'm going to change that because I've already got a model on the go. I just want to get rid of it. I don't want to save it. It was me playing around. So this is our desktop for SketchUp. Now SketchUp's browser-based, so it should just open in Chrome or Safari or whichever browser you use. You can download a version to your computer at home, but we're just going to use the browser-based version at the moment. So along this side of the screen are our tools. This is where we run and use a lot of what we need to do with SketchUp. And on the right-hand side, running down here, there's a lot of useful ones we can do as well. There is some nice previews along here and some lessons. If you look at that little hat, that's the instructor. So if you want to teach yourself how to do a lot of this, it will show you, take you through lots of videos. There's videos everywhere online for how to use SketchUp so that you can become as skilled as you need to. So first of all, let's go through the toolbar. The first thing we need is our select tool, which we can just click on to choose things. This picture of the lady here is just for scale. So if I build a model, I can see how big it is compared to a normal sized person. So we have an eraser. Clicking on the eraser, you might notice that there's a little circle on that corner of the pink eraser. Whatever I click on that's in that circle will delete. Nice and straightforward. I'm going to take you to the drawing toolbar first. So instead of drawing a line, which we'll get to, that one's not bad, but we'll get to that. We want to draw a rectangle first. So if I click on rectangle, you can see here I can draw a rectangle, which is this section, rectangles and squares. Down here is a circle. I can draw any size circle that I want. And another really good one here is a polygon, so I can draw multi-sided shapes. If I draw a rectangle first, we can just see I click anywhere on the screen and drag. When I click and drag, I have a rectangle being drawn. So it's being drawn on the floor. I can draw lots of different size rectangles and it's whatever size I need. Fairly easy. I can then use my eraser to get rid of the sides that I don't want. If I want to delete the rectangles, it's a nice easy way to get rid of everything. I can click and drag that eraser over a few things. If I'm holding the mouse, it selects more than one surface and they're all deleted. So I'll keep that square there for now. The other thing I'll show you is with the polygon tool. If you get to the polygon tool, if you look in this bottom right corner, it says dimensions at the moment. If I click on the polygon tool here, as soon as I click, you'll see that it changes, and it changes to sides. 12 is written there at the moment. If I type without clicking anything, as soon as I click the polygon tool, if I put 6 and push enter, now the polygon that I draw is a hexagon. So if I go to polygon, select it, before I press anything else, I type 3. When I press enter, I'm now drawing a triangle. So I have lots of different polygon shapes that I can draw. I can make them whatever size I need them to be. To look around SketchUp, we need the bottom one. It's an orbit tool. So if I click on an orbit, which is this one up here, it's the default one, I can use my mouse, because if you're using SketchUp, you really want a mouse. I can click and drag, and all of a sudden I can spin my model around. And if I do that, you can see, oh, I made that triangle much lower than my hexagon. But I can scroll around, I can see what's in my model. If I use my mouse wheel, I can zoom out, and I can zoom back in. Now, in that area as well, you have one more choice that we're going to use, which is the hand. The hand is a pan tool, so it means you can move the model across, you can move it forwards and backwards just by clicking that mouse. So if I zoom in, I can move left and right, I can move up and down. A really nice time-saving tip is if you are on orbit, which was the one that let us look around, holding shift on your keyboard will switch from orbit to pan. So I'm not holding shift and I'm orbiting. As soon as I press shift, I'm now panning. So it can just save you a few seconds of clicking on here and choosing what you need to do. So we have looked at the select tool. I can select any part of this shape or any side using select. I've got the eraser tool where I can erase different shapes, and I have my drawing tool, which shows me surfaces that I can draw. I haven't drawn a circle, but obviously if I click on circle, I can draw any size circle that I want as well. The last thing we looked at is moving around, orbit to look around the map, and shift to go left to right. Draw a couple of shapes, orbit it around. It shouldn't take very long. Once you get the hang of that, we'll start our second video, which will use the push-pull tool, which is where SketchUp becomes a lot more interesting and a lot cooler. All right, play around, and I'll see you for the next video pretty shortly. Bye.